Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I'm your host, and today, today I'm going to give a very detailed, full teaching explanation as to the complete metaphysical breakdown of why your reality is already everything and one with it, right? And how to live from that truth. Right? So basically, superposition, light, dimensions, and reality of knowing. So, part one, understanding superposition, not as a theory, but how you live reality right now. You see, in physics, and remember when I say in physics, I am explaining what God is. Physics doesn't explain God. God is physics. I know that sounds a bit whacked, a bit of a wacky take, but here's the thing: it's always and only ever going to be God first. No amount of physics proves God. God proves all things are possible, all things exist. So, in physics, this as the explanation for us, superposition is the idea that a quantum object, any object, or all objects are quantum, can exist in multiple states at once. And it's only when observed that it seems to collapse into one state. That isn't just quantum theory, this is how you literally experience your reality working. Here's an example. This pen exists from this moment, like now, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 seconds. Where's the pen from 5 seconds ago, 4, 3, 2, 1? It still exists. We know of it, but it's going to continue existing. Where's the pen in the next 5 seconds? It exists, it's coming, but we are only seeing the collapsed version of it into the singular state now, 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 now. But you know the previous iterations of it existed. The future iterations of it existed, but they all exist now. It's superimposed onto this one thing, and we're experiencing it billions and billions and billions of frames per second, right? I just had a random, not so random number, but it's like 9 to 10 billion frames of reality per second. Quite a lot. Right? I do have a reason for the number. It's the number of times a cesium atom vibrates in 1 second, right? So and between 9 billion and 10 billion. Just a throwaway thing there. That's how we actually tell. That's the universal experiencing over 1 second. It's actually how many times. It's how we're using it. Cesium atom vibrates in 1 second. So about 9 billion, 100 million, something. Right? So anyway. In our human perception, we experience reality frame by frame. We're experiencing this video frame by frame, right? We experience everything frame by frame, slides on a projector. There's far more. One moment and then another. We call that time. But just like in quantum physics, all possibilities are already present, right? They're already here. The possibility for this to exist exists now. Right? That's why I can keep doing it over and over again, right? And they're just experienced frame by frame by frame, right? We don't see them all because we are experiencing a particular perspective of knowing. See, why didn't we experience the black pen? Why are we experiencing a red pen? Because in our awareness, we are calling forth a red pen. Why? I don't know. Maybe it matches my shirt, right? But here's a black pen, just for the sake of it. But we don't experience these two things in the same place at the same time, but we understand that they do actually exist in the same place at the same time. We can interchange them by changing our perception of which one we are intentionally choosing to see. From my perspective, I'm just swapping them for the point. That point is making you see it all just exists now, but we experience them linearly. Otherwise, we can't, right? And then reality isn't limited; that you can do both at the same time. That's why it doesn't. That's why it's so. That's how we experience the infinity by experiencing more of it in one go. So you're not creating different realities. You are experiencing from the knowing what's already stored on the hard drive. You see? So if you take PowerPoint, for example, if you know what PowerPoint is, right? You copy paste the same photo on the screen 100 times. Layer it on the same place, right? The screen doesn't look taller. It doesn't come out toward you. It's not paint on a wall. If you put enough paint, it starts to come off the wall like a bump. But the file size grows, right? Why? Because the file size, which is on the hard drive, is experiencing more of it, right? It's experiencing more of itself. It's creating this idea where it's expanding but not really expanding, right? It's being more. That's what infinity is. It's expanding but not really, right? It's not going anywhere. It's just becoming more of itself. Because source is where all things exist, even the screen. But here's the thing: the screen of your screen, the screen of your phone, the screen of the computer, the screen of the TV, they don't store anything. Nothing is stored on the screen. You might perceive information on the screen that is stored on the hard drive, so we can make sense of it, because you can't just read your hard drive, right? The hard drive is where everything is stored and will always be stored, even if the screen breaks, right? Not that reality is going to break. The slide looks the same. It's holding 100 images, and your hard drive, your memory, knows every single image in the perfect order that it exists in, what images where, how many there are, all in the same place, superimposed onto one another. That's how reality works, except vastly more intelligent, right? Not even vastly, infinitely, right? So not next to each other, not on top of each other, how we experience things, right? But in the same space of knowing that they are superimposed. That is what reality is like. So when you desire something new, that desire already exists. It's just telling you what appears in your superposition of experiencing. It's already stored there. The question is whether you are allowing yourself to experience it, right? It's a choice to be the identity that experiences it. You're just choosing it. So you can think about it with light as well. If you hold up red, green, and blue light onto the same place, does the light get bigger, higher? No, it doesn't. It just changes its form to reflect how much stuff is there. That's what reality is, changing its form to reflect what you are allowing to be there. So the more you are allowing, the closer your reality is experiencing to being God, because you're allowing all of it. So the more you allow, the closer you actually allow God to be through you, right? That's why you resist nothing. Wow, what actually, the less you resist, the more light can appear, and the more light appears, the more of God you are experiencing. It's always there, right? It's never not there. It's just your perception of the thing that's there, right? You shine them in the same place, you create that white light. You have more reality allowing and existing. You are creating that white light of being, but the white light's always there because it starts with the white light, and you're choosing what light to be, right? Who am I? I am that green light. I am go. I am who I say I am. Right? I am awareness. I am the white light choosing to be the green and experiencing all of that that's possible for that green light. Right? I am who I say I am, and green light is my dream life. I am, right? If you go to the beach and you see the waves in the ocean, they meet sometimes and they get slightly bigger. That's where realities kind of merge and have the appearance of interference, right? Amplitude increases. They don't combine into a new thing and go off. Sometimes, but mostly they don't lose the individual identity of the wave itself, right? The wave is what's creating the the wave is what's creating the wave. The wave knows itself as that wave. So even if it's interacting with something else, it doesn't lose its identity. Right? Some water molecules may jump from here to there, but the wave itself is doing that. Right? They co-create a shared experience of a bigger wave, but they go off smaller when they are done. Right? Multiple realities existing in the same place. You even have the appearance of a bigger wave showing, hey, these two ideas combined for a moment and went in a seemingly different directions. Right? You don't have to figure out anything. You don't have to choose between them. They are all you. Right? That's how you hold multiple desires at once. That's why you can be fixing your house and still saying, I am living in my dream home. Both are real, both exist. God's not confused. God knows that you're just experiencing your now the most perfect way you can, while knowing what also now is you living in that perfect house that you desire to be. And you identify with that one, but not diminishing what you are experiencing now. In fact, you are choosing to experience more of now and having a choice of I am that identity who lives in that dream house. So the hard drive of God, I remember 3D reality is nothing more than the screen. It doesn't store anything. Nothing is stored here. That's why it comes and goes. That's why information gets lost and found. Right? It displays what's stored and what's called. It doesn't hold the storage, right? When you lose a file on your screen, you know it's on the hard drive somewhere, right? That's what God is. God's the hard drive. Right? Hard drive of God, source, being, whatever. The moment you identify as that knowing, that the super conscious knowing that knows what's there, even if you don't consciously know what's there all the time, you no longer need to change the screen. The screen changes by itself. Very much so, right? You simply say, I am the green light. I have chosen, I am the green light. I am who I say I am. I've imagined myself. I set the intention that I am that. So regardless of what is reflected, I'm assuming it's unfolding to that green light experience, right? And now reality must render that version forward. Just like hitting play on the right slide in PowerPoint, right? It just plays what's there. Nothing in reality resists. You are of reality. You are reality. You are reality itself. You are of God and you are God. You can't split God up. Nothing is missing. You're not summoning anything. You are simply viewing what's already true. And for this idea of that you are God, right? We do feel as if we are less because your character, your physical self feels less, feels separate, so it does feel that way, right? Sometimes you feel, no, how can I be God when I feel so much less? God created you to feel everything that it is, including feeling less than it, right? Because you are always experiencing less than all that you are, but you are knowing you are all and everything, regardless of what you're experiencing. So, green light and faith. Live as your truth. Act from being that green light. Act from being the version of yourself who is living that dream life. Doesn't matter what the appearances are, you are that character. So when you choose, I am the green light, reality conforms around it. It gives you and shows you and helps you and moves you to your physical character to experience what that green light version of you experiences. Because you are resonating with it already. Otherwise, you couldn't be aware of it, right? So faith then is not a belief in something coming. It's the acceptance that it's already here, superimposed with me, and I'm calling it forth immediately. The green light doesn't need to be convinced that it's red or yellow or not red or not yellow. It's green. It just simply is green. And when you are that green light, your dream life, you are knowing through which all things move that I am that. The experience aligns with it, right? The presentation unfolds with it. The box appears, right? The wave stabilizes as you as that green light and you go forward, right? There is that turbulent process because you like shifting and sifting from the old one to the new one, and you get like that. But you are that green being no matter what. That's why the no matter what comes in. That's why circumstances don't matter comes in. That's why your desire desires you because it is you, right? Not by doing, but by being. So, in conclusion, a bit of a mouthful there. You are not here to make reality happen. You are here to choose from what is already known. You are not the slide, you are the hard drive. You are not the wave, you are the ocean. You are not the color, you are the white light that chooses color. You are not the circumstances, you are the one that knows I am the state, and the state is the only thing that matters. Everything already exists right now, layered together in perfect superposition, and you are free to choose any version you like by being it right now. That being said, I am your host Reese. This is Rewrite Your Reality. Thank you all for being here. Much love. Thank you for the support. Love and light to you always. Thank you for the liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, the joining of my Facebook group. Please do if you're not there. Come give us a look. Community always growing every day. You can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can give insight of your own. I don't mind that at all. TikTok page available if you want to check other forms of content. Check the community growing there, quite big, quite nice. That being said, email is in the description box below if you want to get a hold of me for personal experience or you want to share things, etc., etc., etc. That being said, much love, much light, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.